Welcome, dear listeners, to History with Herodotus, where we embark on a journey through the annals of time, unraveling the mysteries of our collective past. Today, we find ourselves in the midst of a fascinating tale, one that spans continents and empires, as we delve into the captivating history of the British Raj in India. As we set out to explore this complex and intriguing chapter in human history, let us first immerse ourselves in the context that gave rise to this phenomenon. The British Raj, a period of British rule in India, was not an event that occurred overnight, but rather the culmination of centuries of trade, diplomacy, and colonial ambition. To understand its origins, we must venture back to the early 17th century, when the British East India Company first established its presence on the Indian subcontinent. In 1600, Queen Elizabeth I granted a royal charter to the British East India Company, giving it a monopoly on English trade with the East Indies. The company's initial forays into India were focused on establishing trading posts and securing lucrative contracts with local rulers. One of the earliest and most significant of these trading posts was established at Surat, a bustling port city in western India, in 1612. Imagine, if you will, the vibrant markets and colorful bazaars of Surat, where merchants from all over Asia and Europe gathered to exchange exotic spices, fine textiles, and precious gemstones. As the British East India Company's presence in India grew, so did its ambitions. In 1607, the company secured a grant from the Mughal Emperor Jahangir, allowing it to establish a trading post at Surat and paving the way for further expansion into the Indian subcontinent. This grant marked a significant turning point in the company's fortunes, as it provided access to the lucrative trade routes of the Indian Ocean and enabled the British to tap into the rich resources of the subcontinent. One notable figure who played a crucial role in the early history of the British Raj was Thomas Roe, an English diplomat and adventurer who served as the ambassador of King James I to the Mughal court. Roe's diplomatic efforts helped to secure valuable trade concessions for the British East India Company and laid the foundation for future British expansion in India. As the years passed, the British East India Company continued to expand its presence in India, establishing new trading posts and factories at Madras in 1640 and Bombay in 1668. The company's agents and traders worked tirelessly to promote British interests, negotiating with local rulers, and securing valuable trade agreements that helped to cement British dominance over the region. The eventual establishment of the British Raj was also facilitated by the decline of the Mughal Empire, which had once been the dominant power in India. As the Mughal Empire weakened, regional kingdoms and princely states began to assert their independence, creating a power vacuum that the British were eager to fill. The British East India Company's military victories over local rulers, such as the Battle of Plassey in 1757, further solidified its position, paving the way for the eventual establishment of the British Raj. Let us proceed, dear listeners, into the midst of this captivating tale, where history, culture, and power intersect in fascinating ways. As the 19th century unfolded, India became an integral part of the British Empire, with all the attendant consequences and implications. The British East India Company's military victories over local rulers, such as the Battle of Plassey in 1757 and the Battle of Buxar in 1764, had solidified its position, paving the way for the eventual establishment of the British Raj. The company's agents and traders worked tirelessly to promote British interests, negotiating with local rulers and securing valuable trade agreements that helped to cement British dominance over the region. One notable figure who played a crucial role during this period was Warren Hastings, the first Governor-General of India, who served from 1773 to 1785. Hastings' tenure was marked by significant administrative reforms, including the establishment of a civil service system and the creation of a unified judicial system. He also promoted the study of Indian languages and cultures, recognizing the importance of understanding the local context in which the British were operating. As the British Raj expanded its reach across India, it brought about significant economic transformations. The introduction of new technologies, such as the railroad and the telegraph, facilitated the growth of trade and commerce, connecting India to the global economy like never before. The construction of the Indian railways, which began in the 1850s, revolutionized transportation, enabling the rapid movement of goods and people across the subcontinent. The British Raj also had a profound impact on Indian society and culture. The introduction of Western education and values led to the emergence of a new class of Indians who were educated in English and exposed to European ideas. This led to the growth of a vibrant intellectual and cultural scene, with figures such as Rabindranath Tagore and Swami Vivekananda making significant contributions to Indian literature, philosophy, and spirituality. However, the British Raj was also marked by significant challenges and controversies. The Indian Rebellion of 1857, also known as the Sepoy Mutiny, was a major uprising against British rule, which was ultimately suppressed but led to significant reforms in the way India was governed. The rebellion highlighted the tensions between the British and Indians, as well as the complexities of ruling a vast and diverse subcontinent. As we explore this period, we are struck by the complex interplay between Indian traditions and British imperialism. The British Raj was marked by both cooperation and conflict, as Indians navigated the challenges of colonial rule and sought to assert their own identities and interests. The legacy of this period continues to shape India today, with its vibrant culture, diverse society, and rapidly growing economy. The British Raj was not without its controversies and criticisms, but it also laid the foundation for India's emergence as a major world power. As the 20th century unfolded, the British Raj faced growing opposition from Indian nationalists who sought to end colonial rule and establish an independent nation-state. The Indian National Congress, founded in 1885, became a powerful force in the struggle for independence, with leaders such as Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, and Subhas Chandra Bose playing key roles in the movement. The non-cooperation movement of 1920–1922, led by Gandhi, marked a significant turning point in the struggle, as Indians across the subcontinent engaged in mass civil disobedience, refusing to cooperate with British authorities. The British government responded to these challenges with a mix of repression and reform. The Government of India, Act of 1935, for example, granted limited autonomy to Indian provinces, but also retained significant powers for the British Governor-General. However, this measure was seen as too little, too late, and the demand for full independence continued to grow. The Second World War marked a significant turning point in the history of the British Raj. India's contribution to the war effort, including the sacrifice of over 2 million Indian soldiers, helped to galvanize the movement for independence. The British government, weakened by the war, was no longer able to maintain its hold on India, and the stage was set for a negotiated transfer of power. The Indian Independence Act of 1947 marked the formal end of the British Raj, as India and Pakistan emerged as independent nation-states. The partition of India, however, was a bloody and traumatic event, with widespread violence and displacement affecting millions of people. The legacy of this period continues to shape the complex relationship between India and Pakistan today. As we reflect on the decline and aftermath of the British Raj, we are struck by the complex interplay between Indian traditions and British imperialism. The British Raj was marked by both cooperation and conflict, as Indians navigated the challenges of colonial rule and sought to assert their own identities and interests. The legacy of this period continues to shape India today, with its vibrant culture, diverse society, and rapidly growing economy. In the words of Jawaharlal Nehru, India's first Prime Minister, the British Raj was a period of significant transformation, but it was also a period of great challenge and controversy. As we look back on this period, we are reminded of the complexities of history and the importance of understanding the past in all its nuances. The story of the British Raj is a complex and multifaceted one, full of contradictions and paradoxes. It was a period marked by both cooperation and conflict, as Indians navigated the challenges of colonial rule and sought to assert their own identities and interests. As we reflect on this period, we are reminded of the importance of understanding the past in all its nuances and complexities. The legacy of the British Raj continues to shape India today, and it is only by engaging with this history that we can truly appreciate the complexities of Indian society and culture. As we bring our journey through the history of the British Raj to a close, we are left with a sense of awe and wonder at the sheer complexity and richness of Indian history. From the early footsteps of the British East India Company to the eventual transition to independence, this period has been marked by significant transformations, pivotal events, and fascinating cultural exchanges. As we look to the future, we are reminded of the importance of understanding the past and engaging with the complexities of Indian history. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the captivating history of the British Raj in India. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.